Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the first Tailosive Talks vlog that is being recorded via the Galaxy S10 Plus, which honestly, there's three lenses on the back of this phone, so it's kind of hard to tell which is which one do I look at, but ultimately they're pretty close together. Also, since the Galaxy S10 Plus has kind of this pearlescent, sorry, I don't know how to pronounce words. It has this weird color on the back that kind of changes colors depending on the lighting. I can see a version of myself in the reflection of the phone as I'm talking to you, and I'm kind of curious what you guys think of the quality. What's good about this S10 versus vlogging before in the Galaxy Note 9 was they limited you to 5 minutes of recording if you wanted to shoot like I do at 4K at 60. This doesn't put a limit on that except when it comes to the other lenses, which I do not understand. But I can record 4K at 60 as long as I want to, as long as I'm using the primary main angle lens. If I want to start recording things with the ultra-wide lens or the telephoto lens, then I can't record at 4K at 60, which is bizarre because I think all three lenses have the megapixel count to handle it, but they just don't let you toggle that on for some reason. But in the past, usually the holdup I've had with Samsung devices when I want to record video on them is the audio isn't as good, or the audio is only good when facing the camera away from the subject. So if I turn this phone around and start recording things away from me, suddenly the audio gets a lot better. And some people would say iPhones have this problem too, but for the most part, I like that the new iPhones that came out recently are capable of stereo audio recording. And while the picture on the S10 Plus looks really, really good, at least it does on this display as I'm looking at it, usually my holdup when it comes to audio with these things is that there's not really a rear-facing microphone. You can tell by looking at the back of the phone, there's not like a mic that's pointing at me, opposed to iPhones, which always have microphones on both sides of the device so that you can pick up either side if you want to. But the good news is I'm not using this anymore, and switching back to Android is always kind of a hassle because it breaks the Apple ecosystem. It means that my iMessage features don't work as well, my Apple Watch doesn't pair. A lot of continuity features I'm used to having when I use an iPhone is suddenly not available. But I will say that so far with the Galaxy S10, I've had probably the best experience I've ever had with Android in the past. That's not saying that ultimately I want to switch to Android or anything like that because of the Samsung's superior hardware. No, even if iOS was running on the Galaxy S10, I don't think I would switch to it because I still think the iPhone has superior hardware in a lot of ways. Not every way, but there's still a lot of things the iPhone hasn't been touched with yet. But ultimately, I still find this phone really, really neat. There's a lot of features I enjoy and appreciate about it, and I have to say it's the most iOS-like experience I've ever had on an Android phone. So many of the features they've added with Samsung One UI feel like they're just trying to make it into an iPhone. And honestly, I'm okay with that because I like iPhones, and ultimately I'm fine with companies copying each other as long as you can make a good product. And I can totally see, unlike the Pixel in the past, when people liked this phone or people said this is a decent phone, I was genuinely confused. I was like, why and how can someone possibly recommend this piece of crap? You see that notch? Like, how is someone okay with that? But with the Galaxy S10, I don't feel that way at all. I totally see it. Like, if someone enjoys the S10, I can completely understand that. And to a lot of people, I think the S10 is going to be a good buy, and a lot of people would enjoy using it on a daily basis. Personally, I still think iOS and Android, that bigger debate is more of a key role in which phone I use. So the S10 has a ton of cool features that I appreciate, but ultimately it's still a debate of Android versus iOS. And in that regard, the S10, as cool as it is, still doesn't compete in regards to what iOS has on their app store or their ecosystem or their optimizations. But still, that doesn't mean that Samsung makes crappy stuff, because I think that hardware-wise, what they've made this year is really, really impressive, ignoring the Galaxy Fold. And to give you guys a little spoiler of my S10 review, I think I'm gonna like it. I think I'm gonna appreciate it, and I think it's gonna be a good review and a positive one, and it won't be a big Apple sheep rant. It'll mostly be good things. There's definitely things I don't like about it, but I'll get into all that when the review comes around. But I also think it's funny that this is kind of the time of year where I kind of break away from Apple a little bit and say, hey, I think that you can do Android well, and there's good things Android's capable of. And usually everyone goes, what? Drew? Is this the real Drew? What happened? And it's like, guys, I've done this in the past. Like, I legit made a video when the S8 came out that was like, the Galaxy S8 made me want to ditch my iPhone. I haven't had an experience with an Android phone like that recently. I can't confidently say that the Galaxy S10 makes me want to switch away from my iPhone like the S8 did, but at the time I was using an iPhone 7, and the S8 was so far ahead of the iPhone 7 in so many different ways, with face unlock and iris scan scanning, wireless charging, the bigger display, and using the iPhone 7 felt incredibly dated. But the reason the S9 didn't really give me that great experience and I didn't feel like I was holding the future was because I was switching to the S9 from an iPhone 10, and now I'm switching from an iPhone 10R to the Galaxy S10, which there's lots of advantages to that, but ultimately that battle of iOS and Android is still, I think, the more pivotal reason people won't switch over. It's not necessarily the hardware and the features. It's, for the most part, just kind of what platform and what ecosystem you want to go with. And I still think that hardware-wise, the iPhone has a lot of advantages, and also software and ecosystem-wise, the iPhone still is in the lead for me. But still, really cool phone. Happy to see that we've been recording this video for over 7 minutes now. That's before the editing takes place. And the quality of it looks good, and the Snapdragon 855 is capable of recording this video for that long, which I'm happy about. And I'm already just kind of looking around this place thinking, oh my god, we have so much to pack up. This is gonna be a very frustrating moving process. Oh yeah, in case you didn't know if I was moving or not, I highly recommend you go to Talos of Talks on Twitter and read the pinned message there. I did a summarized version of what's going on in the next couple months. If you want a more detailed explanation, go watch the most recent Talos of Talks podcast where me and my wife explain why we're moving and why all that's happening. I'm so sick of talking about it. I don't want to say it all again for the vlog. So feel free to go check out the text post I did on Twitter as well as the most recent Talks podcast. We go into all the details and stuff like that. So thank you guys for watching. But before we wrap up this vlog, I want to briefly experiment with recording a vlog with the ultra wide lens, because I gotta say, even though in the past I said that ultra wides weren't that helpful, messing around with it on the S10 is actually kind of fun. Oh my god, the ultra wide is so wide that the gimbal is actually in the shot. It's catching the gimbal that's stabilizing the camera. Look how long my arm is, ladies and gentlemen. Whoa! This is trippy. Do I look like a mainstream vlogger now? These like ultra wide angles and stuff like that. This is trippy. I have to admit, I'm having way more fun with the ultra wide than I thought I ever would. Let's run around the office here for a second. Oh my god, look at that cable management. I feel like hardcore Henry here. Running around the office. Oh my god, hey Wyatt. How's it going? Look at that beauty pie chair. Whoa. Look at this ultra.
Oh,
here, how do I look?
Yeah, you look pretty far away.
You look so far away, even though you're right here. Look how long my arm is.
It's the
Yeah. Oh my god. This is crazy. I miss my iPhone 10R. I can't wait for the iPhone to get the ultra wide lens, because I'm gonna do this all the time with it. This is crazy. Anywho, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.